Hi, I'm Ivory.
I'm Antoinette, and this is Black Girls with No Rhythm.
Hey, Antoinette.
Hey, Ivory.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Great. So today we're going to be talking about R. Kelly again, right?
Yep. We're not going to talk about him anymore after this week. This could be it.
Okay, well, so you don't want to bring no more attention to it, or you just want to be over it, or what?
I don't want to bring any more attention to it. A little bit of both. I just feel like, unless something happens within this week.
Like if he go to jail?
Yeah, or if the girls are released, like we heard on the...
released like they been held captive.
I feel like they're not going to leave until he tells them they can go. So if that happens, or something like that, something major happened, then we may talk about him again. But I really just want to talk about the Drake thing and his brother. The interview that
the Drake thing and R. Kelly's brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what you want to talk about with Drake?
I just want to know, how do you feel about the fact that, and it's not even Drake, it's like a lot of people are going back and bringing up all type of celebrities. Like we touched on it a little bit last week with Russell Simmons, but now it's like they're bringing up Damon Dash,
Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Jay-Z. Oh, I didn't hear about Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Jay-Z met Beyonce when she was 18.
Jay-Z and Beyonce, and then the Drake, on stage.
Did you hear about the Chance the Rapper situation?
No.
So Chance the Rapper got a drummer named Styx, and this girl came out and was saying that Styx had forceful sex with her, it was something that she agreed to, but once they got into it, she really wasn't into it. She didn't want to do it, and she was telling him to stop, and he kept going with it or something like that. But guess who Styx is?
Who is Styx?
Styx is the brother of the girl that R. Kelly peed on.
What?
Yeah. Because did you know that R. Kelly guitarist is that girl daddy?
I did know that. know that.
So apparently her brother is a musician also. So her brother is a drummer for Chance the Rapper. Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
I seen a picture the other day.
So how long ago did this happen? And
this happened back a few years ago or whatever, but with everything going on, the girl kind of brought it up, and then her and Styx, they DM'd, and he was like, you brought up, we've been around each other multiple times since then. You know what I'm saying? You could have told me that this how you felt, whoop, whoop, whoop. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like...
everybody just trying to get their moment. Oh, yeah, that's what it feel like.
The thing is, okay, see, this is the problem. And see, this guy, unfortunately, he grew up in a household to where his daddy allowed his sister to have sex with this grown man. So he got a shaded perception of what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. But the thing is, the problem with a lot of these households, or a lot of these young men, is that we don't properly educate our children on what's acceptable and what's not acceptable when it comes to sex. We don't sit down and say, you make sure this girl is consenting, you make sure she want to have sex, make sure,
and she has the right to change her mind at any point in time in the act.
No point when you were younger, when you were dealing with guys, have any guy ever asked you, are you sure you want to do this? Do you want to keep doing this? Are you okay? Are you comfortable? You know what I'm saying? If you give any inclination that you ready to drop them draws, he all on it.
Yeah.
Even if you act like you want to push back a little bit, even if you act like you want to push back a little bit, he just keep on urging, and he's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So, because it's probably been times, well, let's be for real, it's probably been times where you done went all the way, and you was probably like, I just really did not want to do it with him, but we was already in the fucking moment, I ain't want to turn back. You know what I'm saying? That could be perceived as the same thing. You know what I'm saying? But it's like we don't properly teach our boys, make sure she want to do this. Like, I'm going to teach my son, don't have sex with girls that's drunk.
No, definitely. Or high.
Off in it, weed ain't gonna make you not be able to tell what you go, weed
for you. You don't know what that's gonna do.
Weed ain't gonna do that for nobody. Weed ain't gonna do that for nobody. Some other drugs, probably like some Molly or some X or something like that. But some weed ain't gonna have you so incoherent that you ain't gonna be able to say, no, I don't wanna fucking do this.
Got you.
Yeah. But if she's under the influence, then you need to really be sure that that's something that both of y'all are both consensual in. You know what I'm saying? Just don't be fucking just to be fucking. You need to make sure you fucking somebody who want to be fucked.
And in most states, a woman can't give consent if she's intoxicated.
Yeah, but who really go by that? I mean, that's the law.
If she press charges, you can go to jail.
Yeah, that's true. But we need to teach our sons what's okay and what's not okay.
I agree. I definitely agree.
Yeah,
I agree. I think in his situation, like you were saying, he probably didn't realize, because you know how some women will be like, no, stop, but you really be wanting, you want the person to keep going.
Messages, I feel like he was truly apologetic, and he was like, let me remind you about what happened that night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
he had no idea.
He didn't know.
But my thing is, why would she wait? And I'm not trying to victim shame, but why you waited until this came out to say this?
And she's been assaulted by 2 people that's associated with Chance the Rapper on 2 different occasions.
And I feel like the reason that this is coming out now because Chance was in the TV special.
So with that being said, at what point is it? Do you say, okay, this might be something that you got going on? You know what I'm saying? Like how you keep on ending up in these situations, or is that not okay to say?
I don't know if it's okay to say, but I feel like that's a true question that you should ask yourself. Yeah. Like, who am I around, or why am I constantly around the type of people that put me in a situation to be taken advantage of? And it may be just her line of work. I'm not sure what she does. Maybe it's her line of work, and men just feel like she easy or something. I'm not sure. Why would you be around this man for all these years later and he has no idea?
He had no idea.
Like, so basically the next day you was acting like everything was okay, but now you want to say that he forcefully had sex with you and you didn't want to?
Yeah.
And I think that's another really big problem that people have with believing women, because we have women who do stuff like this. And I'm not saying that in that moment she didn't want to have sex with him. I'm saying you didn't voice it after the fact, or you didn't voice it enough during. I'm not gonna say you didn't voice it enough during because I wasn't there, but after the fact you made it seem like it was okay. Mm-hmm. And you have women like that come out, so now you have, when a true rape victim or a true victim comes out, it's kind of like, I don't know whether to believe her or not, because people be doing the most.
People do the most. So I don't know, but I just thought I'd mention that, especially since it's also the R. Kelly situation. Well, it's not really, but
it was like it's a whole
little circle. Like,
it's like everybody is coming up, like they're going back and digging stuff up with, this person dated this person when they were this age. Basically, I think people are trying to defend the fact that R. Kelly is dating young women, and that was never my argument.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you sleep with that sounds so bad. I was gonna say, if you sleep with a 17-year-old here and there, you know what I'm saying, but that's not right to say either.
But it's 17 is legal in some states.
You got a problem. The problem with R. Kelly is the fact that you like compulsive, obsessive with it, like the whole cult thing and all that. It's not a matter of you just sleeping with people. You out here ruining the whole people's lives.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's where my problem comes in at. I'm completely fine with the fact that I don't know how old he is. If he say that he's 40, 50, and he want to date an 18-year-old. If an 18-year-old want to date him and they're fine and they're okay and they're both consenting adults, I feel like it's okay. I know young women who go after older men and older men who go after younger women. So that's not my problem. My problem isn't the sex. My problem isn't the relationship. My problem is how he manages the relationships and the controlling part of it, and the fact that these people haven't seen their parents or their family. That's the part where I have a problem with. Yeah. It's not the fact that he's in a relationship with a young girl. And the whole Drake thing, I feel like that was taken way out of proportion. Like,
you think it was taken out of proportion?
I do. I just don't. When I watched it, the girl was 17, and for me, 17 is legal. Like, I understand that 18 is technically depending on where you live. So
if it was your daughter?
I mean, I would feel the same way. I don't see where he didn't. It's not like she was 16 or she was 15.
So if it was your daughter up there and he was like, think about him telling your daughter, oh, your breast felt so good, you would be okay with that?
I mean, that's my daughter. It would be awkward because that's my daughter, not because she was 17. Just because she's my daughter in general. If she was 25 and he said it to my daughter, it's gonna be
would still be the
same. So I'm like, she was 17. Like, depending on what state she was in, she probably was able to consent anyway. I don't have a problem with older men dating younger women. at all. I just, and then I think he has a relationship or a friendship with the.
Oh yeah, she said they be texting us about boys.
Yeah, like I think people are trying to find something where there isn't anything.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think that people are trying to, y'all want to throw R. Kelly under the bus. Let's pull all of everybody else down.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, let's jump on this bandwagon. Let me go research to see who dated who because y'all trying to
try to justify R. Kelly. Like, exactly. Like, we can't say that he doing all this wrong when all these other people doing
exactly.
the same thing.
When it's not the same.
Nobody not doing what R. Kelly is doing. Nobody's doing what he's doing.
Exactly.
Other than like these crazy people who have sex cults that be in the middle of the desert and shit. Other than that, ain't nobody doing what R. Kelly doing.
And then his brother, that interview was just a lot for me.
What a lot of people might not know about the interview, so elaborate on the interview that you speak of.
So he did an interview with Unwind with Tasha K. And he basically speaks about his childhood and how his sister molested him when he was 6. It sounded like it was going on for a couple years. And then he touched on the fact that his niece, the sister's daughter, tried to have an inappropriate relationship with him, was liking him in a way that you like a boyfriend, not the way you're supposed to like an uncle. And what else did he touch on? It was just so much. And I'm not saying that I don't believe him, because I believe something happened. I just don't understand why you chose to come out now. Why is this what you want to talk about? After all these years, I feel like that was a conversation for maybe you and your sister to have, or you and a counselor and your sister to have. I just didn't understand the need for him to go on a radio station and say this out loud to the world.
So you think he's trying to get like a 15 minutes of fame or something?
I think he's trying to be like, it seemed like in the interview that he was trying to, I'm the good child out of all of us. Like, everybody else got all these flaws. My brother R. Kelly doing this, my sister doing this, my older brother on drugs, and everybody doing this, but I'm the one trying to live right by my mama.
Because she didn't raise us like that.
Exactly, because she didn't raise us like this. So that was the part that was just like, I just didn't, like we talked about last week.
So you feel like he was playing the victim?
Yes, definitely. And he is a victim. If it did happen, which he says that it did. But last week we talked about, and I was like, I couldn't understand why R. Kelly wouldn't say the name of who molested him. And then you was like, because he don't want to be the one to tear his family down or tear his family apart. And then I guess after we had that conversation and then this happened this week, I'm like,
so he wanted to be the one to tear the family down.
Right. And it seemed like they're not close anyway.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like he said he hadn't talked to his sister in like 20 years. It doesn't seem like he talked to anybody, like he's on his own. And then the whole thing with his niece, that was even weird. Because at first
and he was like, she was coming to stay with me, and then I had to leave. I started staying at other people's house just to make her comfortable. But then she was uncomfortable because she was from a little small town, and now she moved to Chicago. Like, what happened between you and her to make it to the point where you couldn't even stay in your own house with her being there?
And then why did you have to say that your sister kicked her out and I couldn't have her living on the street? So once again, you trying to play the hero. Like, my sister kicked her out, so she was on the streets, and I had to, she had to come and stay with me.
Just saying, my niece kind of stayed with me for a little while.
You're trying to be the hero. And then at first Tasha asked him, why he think that she came on to him like that. And he was like, maybe something happened to her in her life to where she felt like that was appropriate. He's like, I don't know, I'm just saying. But then he turns around and says that she told a cousin that the brother molested her. Which one is it? You don't know, or you know?
You think he's telling too much other family business?
It's hard. The reason I say it's hard is that's like one of the biggest things in our community
what
is
happened in my house.
Stay in my house, which is not
telling my business, but you don't want to say that. But really, in your heart of hearts, you feel like he putting his family business out there in the street.
I feel like If he wanted to come out there and tell his story about what happened to him to help people, I was all for it. He
had no business putting his niece out there.
His niece, R. Kelly,
did this stuff to her.
Yeah, and then he put R. Kelly out there saying what he think the sister did to her. Like, if you want to tell your story to help somebody going through this, I'm fine with it. I would not dare ever get on a radio show and say what happened to my sister or my brother. That's not my business.
Yeah.
Like,
especially without their permission, or without their consent.
So, yes, I feel like he's telling too much of the family business because it's not his business to tell. Mm-hmm. That was his niece if she wanted to come out and tell her truth.
He said her name and everything.
Yeah. Like, he told somebody else's truth, and I don't think that's okay. And that's my problem with it.
Okay, so back to the R. Kelly situation. Did you know that the identity of the girl had came out?
Talking about the 13-year-old?
Yeah.
Yeah, I Googled it.
Oh, okay.
Because, in the TV show, they blur out her face. Yeah, I Googled it.
Okay, and it was easy to come up?
Yeah. You just Google Sparkle's niece.
Yeah.
And, like, the same picture that were in the special with her face blurred out is in Google Images with her face not blurred out.
I seen a picture of her and her brother and her mama with scissors. So they like be in the little celebrity circles and stuff.
I didn't see a recent one. These were like the only ones I saw were the exact. I don't know what she looks like now.
She looked the same. She a cute girl.
Oh, so she's with her family. So she comes and goes. Sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure she do whatever the hell she wanna do.
I mean, she has been with them for a long time.
Yeah, I seen one of them say it was like one of the blogs was speculating that she's the one that trained girls on like how to please him. Because
they do have. I thought it was the one that was actually on the show. I don't know her name.
The girl Lisa Van Allen.
Yep, that's exactly who it is. I thought it was her because she had been with him for so long.
But she testified at the case. Yeah, she testified. Like, that's how long she been away from him. She testified against him at the.
I thought she went back to him after that.
I don't know.
Maybe not. I don't know. I thought that.
I don't see him letting her back in.
You right.
Against him.
You right.
He don't seem like the type that allow that kind of stuff.
You right. You right about that. Oh, and then the Aaliyah. There's a thing out now with Aaliyah and her mama having sex with him and taking his rights from him or stealing his rights from him. Like, come on, we doing too much.
I don't believe that at all.
Like, we just doing, and it's like what amazes me is that people can print whatever they want because it's the internet.
The click of a button, you can say anything. And if enough people read it, it'll reach some more people.
Man, and it's true. Like, it's just automatically true. Like, I saw it on the internet and that makes it true.
With no justification, no backup, nothing behind it. Just
like, y'all are killing, like, this is her legacy. She's not even here to defend herself. And y'all go put out there that she had a threesome with her mama and R. Kelly? That's nasty.
I don't think nobody believes that, though.
I hope not.
Like, that whole situation, like, even with her mama, instead of her mama just coming out and saying, yes, my daughter was a victim, she's still like, oh, this, that happened. Like, you ain't doing nothing but helping prove that he's not the monster that they say he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you not helping the situation just by trying to protect your daughter's innocence. You not helping the situation. We already know. It's already stuff out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, just clear the air.
I don't think that she will because I think that he did too much for her. I think that she feels like she owes him something. So she's not going to talk bad about him. Even though...
But what about what he did to your daughter?
Everybody don't feel the same way.
Yeah, you're right.
Everybody don't feel like,
That's why the girl's still with him now, I guess, huh?
Everybody don't feel like... She may not feel like he did something to my daughter. She may feel like my daughter was a willing participant. She knew what was happening. She knew what was going on. We don't know.
I guess.
Yeah, I'm not.
Could be my daughter.
Mine either. I don't care if she was a willing participant. I read something. Somebody posted something the other day, and I reposted it on our page, and it said that there's nothing that a child can have that can turn a grown man on.
Exactly.
Like, they don't care how much a child is coming on to a grown man. A grown man should not be attracted to a child. A grown man should put a child in her place.
Exactly. Like, look, girl, sit your ass down. I'm about to call your fucking mama.
Exactly.
You about to get your ass whooped. You doing too much. We trying to figure out what's going on to make you feel like you can come on to a grown man.
Exactly. So
supposedly.
So it's like you have people who don't feel like that though. Like, for whatever the reason.
And they be the ones who, when the boyfriend be messing with the daughter, they be like, oh, she was walking around in them little bitty shorts. She should have never had that on in front of him. I told her to put a bra on. You know what I'm saying? Like, them be the ones who be blaming the child for everything.
Yep. Okay, so my cousin made a post about the fact that she stopped listening to R. Kelly decades ago. So her uncle came back and was basically like justifying the fact that society has made it to the point where it's okay for little girls to pursue older men and older men to, date little girls. Mm-hmm. Basically what it was. So her response was, just because if fruit begins to grow from a tree doesn't mean it can be picked from its root when it's not ripe or ready to be picked. Our Heavenly Father made men in His image to be kings of high wisdom, to be strong, loving, and kind as He has been towards us. Men have let Satan and sin corrupt their minds and spirits to the point that man has made sex a god to themselves, an idol that they would do anything. For example, strip clubs, pimps, pornos, cheating repeatedly, breaking up their homes for side pieces. You heard the songs, etc. Some men have let the feeling of sex override their moral compass to the point they will hurt babies and young children just to satisfy their lust. I believe that our men are smarter and kinder than that, and until men start truly being the king that Yusuf wanted them to be, there will always be a divide in the truth and what's right. R. Kelly isn't my cup of tea.
Okay, so I agree with what she's saying to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that people will do anything to get their rocks off. But at the same time, this is not something new. This is not something that just started happening. This is something that's been going on since the beginning of time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
People using, it's history that proves that people have used young people for sex. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's man on boy, you know what I'm saying? Man on young girl. Like, people been fucking us since we was 13, since the beginning of time.
In the Bible, in the Old Testament, in the Bible, kids got married at 13.
Exactly.
So there's nothing in the Bible that talks about molestation because they got married so young. They were out of the house and on to their husband by the age of like 13.
Exactly. So when people throw the whole religious thing in there, they kind of throw me off because you know how I feel about the whole religious thing.
Right.
But it just boils down to being kind to people, treating people a certain kind of way, treating people how you want to be treated. You have children, he have children. How would he feel if somebody was fucking his child at 13 or 14? You know what I'm saying? Don't do people like that because you don't want nobody to do it to you. It's not right. It's not about Satan or God or nothing. It's just not right. It's just a certain way you treat people.
Right.
People are entitled to be treated a certain kind of way. And you don't pee on people. People who don't ask to be peed on, you just don't pee on them. You know, if you're a grown woman and you want to be peed on, then by all means, piss on her. But I don't think you should just be going around peeing on children. You know?
It threw me off. Like, I didn't know where that was going. I just didn't expect it to go to pee. So, I mean, yeah, you're right. That threw me completely off. I do think, because I believe in God and Satan, I do think that this world is not, and it's not just R. Kelly. And like you said, it has been ever. Like, rape has been a thing ever. Having sex with little girls, little boys have been going on for forever. But I think that Satan still has something to do with it.
Yeah, he does. He does. But
and I think that
we got to take accountability for our own actions. We got to stand up and say that you doing this because you're a monster. you're doing this because you need help.
Yeah.
We're not gonna blame Satan. We gonna blame the person. You gotta take responsibility for your actions.
I'm
it's
not
the devil working. Yeah, it's the devil working. But yeah, we can't put the devil on trial, but we can put you on trial.
You right. You dang sure right about that. I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to use Satan to justify why he's doing what he's doing. Like from the sounds of it sounds like his control was taken, so he's trying to take it back.
Yeah,
and he was hurt. Way. Right, he was hurt, and hurt people. So
get a blow up though.
Oh, at the end of the clip, I guess he was speaking to authorities, and he would release the girls if he didn't catch any charges. I don't know how true that is.
You feel like it's something that he could be testified. I mean, he could be persecuted for.
Yeah, but his brother was like, he don't think that's enough, and if they did let him go, then they were crazy. And so
he can pretty much just get therapy and let them girls go and just go through the motions, and then as soon as everything get done and over with, he can be right back to the same R. Kelly.
Right. So the interviewer asked him, do you not think that that's, enough punishment? Do you feel like he needs to go to prison? And he was like, I don't feel like he needs to go to prison, but I feel like he needs to get help. I'm like, that's definitely what he said to start with. That she said that he was gonna go get therapy, and he was like, I think he need to be in the mental needing like that's how it ended with him needing to be in the mental hospital. I was like, see, I don't know what it is about his brother that's just not seeing right with me.
Maybe he's a little slow.
I mean, it could be. I'm laughing, but that really could be what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. He was like, he feel like he need to be in the mental hospital and, away from everybody, and he need to, say what he did and try to help the people.
He want him to be locked up, but he just don't want him to be in jail.
It sound like, yeah. And he want him to come out and admit what he did to give the people who he hurt closure. I think that is too much to ask for. I don't see that ever happening. I don't think he gonna ever admit it.
No, not when he talking about he want to get a website talking about surviving lies.
Oh, he was gonna get a website and put out everybody dirt.
He had a Facebook page, but Facebook took it down because they said it violated. Because he had like text messages and stuff like that up, but I never got a chance to see it. But Facebook deactivated the page because they said it violated people's privacy rights because he was supposed to text messages and phone conversations and things like that. But I don't know exactly what was on there because I didn't hear it. But supposedly he's supposed to be hosting the website survivinglies.com, and it's going to talk about like basically him defending himself against all these accusations from these women.
That'd be interesting. If that comes up, we'll definitely have to talk about that one day.
But yeah, they said that he used to make them sign stuff that say like they stole from him, or their parents owed him money.
Oh yeah. So if they ever came out,
if stuff come out like that, who's to say what's real and what's not? Because he already fabricated all these false documents against these people.
You right about that?
With their real signatures and things like that.
And with the technology these days, you just never know if a voicemail is really from that person.
Yeah.
That's very true.
And it could very well be from them because they was like brainwashed.
Yeah. Yeah. This is one of those situations where I think we'll never know like 100% of the truth. We can only sit here and speculate what we think happened.
Yeah.
And I think that he did some of that stuff to them. Like I don't know.
He did some of that stuff too.
Yeah, I don't know to the extent of what happened, but he definitely did something.
Well, we're not gonna get too much more time to this. Hopefully, if something else, well, not hopefully, but if something else come out, like if he go on trial or he get persecuted or something like that, then we'll follow up. But until then, we done with R. Kelly.
I agree.
Thank y'all for tuning in to another week of Black Girls with No Rhythm. And we hope to see y'all next week. Make sure y'all tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend.
Like, comment, subscribe, share Black Girls with No Rhythm, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.
And YouTube. Oh, you say YouTube. Okay, and this is Black Girls with No Rhythm.
And we're out.